This week on Diplomatic Channel. It's days now to the much-awaited exit by the UK from the European Union, and it looks anything but, as lawmakers voted during the week over extending Brexit date. We look at the probability of the UK leaving the EU, what the British people think, and what the future looks like for Britain and the EU. My guest this week is the publisher of Inside Watch Africa, a travel trade magazine that promotes tourism in Africa. He's also a member of the Nigeria-Britain Association. We'll be discussing the reluctance by the British lawmakers to Prime Minister Theresa May's deal and whether or not Britain is currently at a disadvantage. Plus, North Korea is said to be rethinking its ban on missile tests and nuclear talks with the United States altogether. Hello everyone and welcome to the program. I am Amarachi Ubani. First of all, our thoughts and prayers are with those who have lost loved ones through the various disasters that have happened in this past week. We especially want to express our condolences to the family of the late Ambassador Abiodun Oluremi Bashua and Professor Pius Adesomi, who were both killed in the Ethiopian airline Flight 302, a crash last Sunday, killing all 157 people on board. And the late ambassador was, until his death, on contract with the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. He had served in different capacities, both at headquarters and foreign missions such as Vienna, Austria, Abidjan, Cote d'Ivoire, Tehran, and Iran. He was also interim chairman of the Nigerian community in Ethiopia, who in a statement remembered both men for their professional endeavor and distinguished careers in the fields of international diplomacy and African studies. Meanwhile, investigation has begun into the cause of the crash, and experts are already examining the flight recorders from the plane. We turn now to Brexit. Will it or will it not happen? Is Britain ready to leave the European Union? The two-year preparation period since Article 50 was triggered is almost up, and it still feels like Britain has only just begun having real conversations about many issues.
In a series of votes over various amendments to Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal, perhaps the most important thing that Britons looked forward to was an amendment for a delay in the Brexit process for 3 months or more. MPs voted in the House of Commons by 412 to 202, a majority of 210, to request the European Union for an extension to Article 50 in Brexit. What this means is that the Brexit date, originally set for March the 29th, will be delayed until June the 30th if the House of Commons can pass a Brexit deal before Wednesday this week. If not, the date will be further postponed. The MPs had earlier rejected an amendment calling for a second Brexit referendum and rejected a no-deal situation with the EU.
We definitely need time, but we look ridiculous in front of the whole of the rest of Europe at the moment. So we need more time, definitely, and we need to get things moving back in the right direction.
To be honest, I find it incredibly confusing and frustrating for the average person to really understand what's going on. I've worked in the city for 30 years and it seems different every day. No one really knows what the outcome is going to be. It's just a lot of uncertainty, so I don't think it's a particularly great position to be in.
I think it's outrageous. They should get on with it, get it done. It's been dragging on for 2 years now. They just need to get on with it. Parliament are horrendous.
But to the European Union, there will be no more Brexit deal, apart from the one already before the British Parliament. Holding up a copy of the withdrawal treaty that has been rejected twice by Britain's Parliament, the EU's chief Brexit negotiator, Michel Barnier, said it was the only one possible and available.
If the United Kingdom still wants to leave the European Union, and if it wants to leave in an orderly manner, which is what the Prime Minister tells us, then this treaty, such as it is, which organizes the orderly separation, this treaty is the only one possible and available. And in order to go further, we do not need a negative vote against the treaty or against a no deal. We need a positive and constructive vote. This treaty is not the end of the story. It organizes the orderly separation, which is preferable to a no deal, a hard Brexit, or a disorderly separation.
Qu'un no deal, qu'un hard Brexit ou qu'une séparation désordonnée.
EU member France says Britain will need to come up with a clear reason for requesting an extension to the March the 29th deadline for leaving the European Union, saying that extra time could not be used to renegotiate the withdrawal. It might be even tougher for Mrs May to win the support of MPs, as the Democratic Unionist Party says there are still issues to be discussed with the government. The party has voted twice against the agreement over concerns around the Northern Ireland backstop, and are in current discussions with the government to ensure that Northern Ireland is not separated out from the rest of the United Kingdom as it leaves the EU.